Alright guys, so today is the 9th day of our 30 days of Photoshop retouching challenge, and in today's video we're going to learn how to clean the background. We're going to learn how to create a frequency separation adjustment layers, and then we're going to learn how to smoothen the skin using the frequency adjustment layers that we created, and then we're going to learn how to also remove pimples and then unwanted stuff from the skin of our model, and then we're going to also try and then make some background manipulations on the image as well. So if you're new to Photoshop or you're a beginner or an intermediate and then you're struggling with any of what I've said above, then I strongly recommend this video for you because you're going to learn a lot from it. My name is Ekodidia, by the way, and welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. If you love the content that I post here, then kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like this video as well. For more videos like this, let's jump right in and start editing. So I'm going to duplicate the background layer by pressing Ctrl J, like as you can see over here. So we're going to use this first layer to do our cleanups and then try and remove our pimples from the face of our model. So the reason why I do this is because I don't want to later on spend extra time removing the stuff after I create the frequency separation adjustment layers, because in that layer we're going to create two layers where we'll have our texture different from our color layers. Yes, so when you're doing it, then you're going to be spending more time working on two layers, actually editing the same thing. So it's best you do it over here so that when it gets to that point, you don't waste so much time doing the same thing over and over. Yeah, so that's the main reason why I do this. All right, so I'm going to go around just brushing and then removing any unwanted part from our image. So to activate the hand tool, you're just going to press and hold the space bar and then just move your image around. Yeah. Alright, so I'm using the spot healing brush tool over here like this, and then always make sure content aware is selected over here. I'm just going to go ahead, just remove the strands of hair. I'll come here, remove all this from her face. Let's zoom out. You zoom out by pressing and holding the alt key, and then just using the scroll button to zoom in or out of your image. So I'm going to come to the side as well and then just remove this. So just brush to remove anything. Let's move to the arm, and then we have this stuff over here which isn't looking too good. Just going to remove this and then remove this as well. Come to the side, and then over here with this one I'm going to use the patch tool. So you just select the patch tool in the tools column and then just remove it. So you just circle and then drag it to a much cleaner area. That's basically how it works. So I'm just going to press Ctrl and 0 to zoom out or to fit to screen. Alright, so from here we're going to duplicate the layer 1 and then have a different two duplicates. So we have layer 1 over here. We're going to change this to color. So we are now going to create our frequency separation adjustment layers. Then I'm going to double click on the name and then change this to texture. Then I'm going to select the color layer. I'm going to hide the texture layer, and then with the color layer selected, I'm going to come to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to keep or change this to 4.0. That's the radius. So you're going to change it to the point where you don't see so much details on the image. Yeah, that's basically the idea. So you're going to press OK. And then we're going to select the texture layer now. We're going to make it visible. We're going to come to image, applied image. Then over here at merged, over here at the layers, we're going to change this to color layer. Then we're going to change or keep this at subtract, opacity at 100, scale at 2, offset at 128. Please make sure you remember this. Yeah. Alright, so then you're going to come to, okay, as you can see, our image over here is looking kind of grayish. It's looking like a ghost. But don't worry, we'll fix that very soon. So afterwards, you're going to come to the blend mode over here at the texture like this, and then change this to linear light. As you can see, our image is back to how it was before. Yeah, our image is just back to how it was previously. Alright, so now we're going to proceed and then start smoothing the skin. So we're going to select, before that, if you want this action created for you automatically, I have it in my digital store. You can just check it out and then just download it. Alright, so now I'm going to put this in a group by pressing Ctrl and then select both layers and then Ctrl G once more to put it in a group. I'm going to change the name to FS, that is frequency separation. I'm going to select OK. I'm going to make this, I'm going to open this up, select the color layer like this, and then select the mixer brush tool. That's what I mostly use to do my my skin smoothing. So with the color layer selected, I'm going to just increase or zoom into my image like that, and then decrease the brush size to a good size. So you're going to use the open and close bracket keys to increase or decrease the brush size like that. Then I'm going to start brushing, smoothing the skin like that. So you're just going to keep brushing, smoothing the skin. Always make sure to maintain or keep brushing within the tones of the image. I keep saying this over and over and over again. Always make sure you maintain this. So you're just going to keep brushing. Her forehead, I'm going to move to this side. And then make sure that the color layer is selected, not the texture layer. Make sure the color layer is selected for this. Alright, so I'm going to keep brushing like that. You're going to make sure you take your time when you're brushing for the best effect. Alright, so you're just going to proceed and then just keep brushing like that. Just take your time and then keep brushing. Alright guys, I hope you understand the process that I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to speed the side up so the video won't be too long. So always make sure you zoom out after you finish and then just check if the image is looking good. Because sometimes when you're zoomed in, you don't see certain things you don't see how your image is really looking until you zoom out. That's when you're going to see how the image is actually looking. So I advise that you always zoom out to check how your image is looking before you proceed to a different place, so that if there's any changes or any settings or anything that you're supposed to do, you just do it before you move on to a different place. I remember when I started Retouch, I didn't know you could also retouch the hair. So I found out it's possible. Then I decided to learn it and then just use it for my works as well. So if you're new to this, you can also try this. Make sure you're doing this on the texture layer. In different projects, I normally do this I create a different frequency separation adjustment layers for it. But then with this particular work, I'm just doing it on the same frequency separation adjustment layer. So you can also do the same, or you can just create a different frequency separation adjustment layer and then do that on it separately. Yeah, so this how our image is looking now. Alright, so let me quickly fix this thing. Also, I don't really like how it's looking, so I'm just gonna brush on it like that to remove the lines from there. So still with the color layer selected though, just gonna brush. While you brush, you just have to make sure you're maintaining the shape or the look of how the image is. So you're just gonna go along with the natural shape. Anywhere you're brushing or anywhere you're doing this at, just make sure you're not changing anything. You're just using the natural look, but then you're just brushing or just smoothing things out on it. That's how you always maintain the natural look of anything you are working on, especially when you're using this method. So let's quickly check the before and after. So this is the before and then this is the after. As you can see, our image is looking very nice. Alright, so zoom into the face one more time, and then we select the texture layer. And then with the spot healing brush tool selected once more, we're going to go ahead and then just remove this unwanted stuff from her face. Mind you, it's on the texture layer, not on the color layer this time around. So you're going to take your time and then just brush. Make sure you're not removing all the textures from her face or on her skin, because you have to make sure you maintain some texture just to retain that natural look. Alright, so we zoom out, check how the image is looking. Control 0 to fit to screen. Our image is looking very nice, very natural, everything is on point. So let's zoom into her face this time and then fix the eye and then the teeth. Let's just try and whiten this up. I have this action that I used to do this, so I'm just going to press on it and it's going to play. Oh, see, I selected the dodge and bend rather. Let me just delete this quickly, and then the teeth and eye whites, and I'm just going to click on it. Yeah. Alright, so with the brush tool selected, let me decrease it by pressing the open bracket key. Then I'm going to just brush on the eyes to whiten it up. Gonna come to the teeth as well, and I'm just gonna brush it. Now let me zoom out like that, and then let me just add a little brightness to it. Press here and then create a curves adjustment layer. Select here and then just increase it like that. And then yeah, our image is looking nice. Alright, so let's come back to the frequency separation adjustment layers and then try and then smoothing the background a little bit more. So we select the color layer once more. Then we select the mixer brush tool, and then as you can see, we're just gonna brush on this stuff over here to remove it. Yeah, always remember to take your time when you're doing this. I'm just gonna brush gently like that. Yeah, let's check the before and after. So this is the before, and this is the after. Zoom in. This is the before, and then this is the after. Everything is looking nice. Alright, so now we're gonna proceed to let's add something to the background. Let's just manipulate the background a little bit. So we're going to select the background layer. Then we're going to come to select, and then we're going to click on select subject. We're going to create a selection around our subject for us. Then we're going to place our background effect behind it. Alright, so we have our selection over here. So now we have our perfect selection made for us. So I'm going to come here and then create an adjustment layer, curves adjustment layer. Then I'm gonna, with the layer mask selected, I'm gonna press Control and then I to invert this. Then I'm gonna come to where my designs are, where my overlays are, and then I'm gonna select an overlay. I think this works for me, so I'm just gonna drag, come here, and then just drop it here like that. Just make it big. Make sure you understand the proportion of the image you're working with. Then you're gonna drag, and then anything you're gonna do, make sure it fits the image. I'm just gonna decrease the opacity like this, and then come here, select the layer mask, hold Alt and then drag and then drop this on the layer mask. Yes, as you can see, everything is looking nice. Let me just increase the opacity a little bit. Let me see how it's looking. Yeah. This is how our image is looking now. I think it's looking nice, but then I'd love to add some contrast to the background. Let me just add this so let me see how it's looking. This is I don't really like how it's looking, so I'm going to keep it at normal, but then I'm going to add some contrast to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create levels adjustment layer, hold Alt, and then clip this to the background. Then I'm just going to drag the side to the right, a little bit of this to the right as well, and then I'm going to drag this to the I think this is okay. I think the effects I'm having right now is okay. So I'm just gonna maintain this. So now I have to color grade it. So as I said, the best way to bring a previous color grading onto the current project that you're working on is just go back to the old work and then just select the color grade in the layers and then just drag it to the new one and then just drop it like that. There you have your color graded image automatically done for you. Nice and easy, no stress. So I feel like I should add a little bit of light to it. So I'm going to come here and then curves adjustment layer and then just make a point over here and then just drag it up a little bit. Yes, like that. I think it's too bright, so I'm going to just bring it down a little bit like that. And that is it. I have my image looking nice and beautiful. So if you love this video, kindly watch other videos on this channel. Similar videos like this on this channel. Yeah, and as I said, this is day 9 of the challenge that I'm doing. If you want this action or if you want this image, just drop it in the comment section, or you can join my WhatsApp page and then you just hit me up. I'm going to drop it for you. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.